General of the Obi-Dati Presidential Campaign Organization in the 2022 presidential election, Doyin Okupe. He has reacted to a barrage of criticism trailing his open support for President Bola Tinubu's administration. Okupe had, in an interview, said that he knew that Tinubu was the better candidate despite his association with the Labour Party presidential candidate Peter Obi before the elections. However, the turnaround led to many Nigerians labeling him a traitor. But in a post on X on Monday, Okupe came out to clarify his stance, saying, "In a game of politics, there are no permanent friends or enemies, but only permanent interests." Let me hold it there. Is he right concerning the fact that he worked assiduously with Peter Obi and Dati as a staunch supporter and an administrator of their campaigns and the hopes that they had to occupy the #1 seat in Nigeria? And he is saying here that all the while I knew that Tinubu had capacity. I know Atiku Abubakar, I know Peter Obi, but I still knew that Tinubu has more capacity. And when the backlash came out, he said, no, that you are getting these things wrong. That in politics, there are no permanent friends, no permanent enemies, but permanent interests. And I know that many obedients, per se, will take offense to this stance. But is he wrong?
Well, first and foremost, many obedients will take exception to his stance. Yes, you know, if you look at, you know, across the country, the obedience have been so, let me say, the main obedience, the real obedience, will take serious exception. In fact, they are burning in their hearts. In fact, if they see Okupe, I'm sorry to use the word, maybe they will just look for 1 liter of fuel that is costing close to 1,000 naira now, just pour it to buy and set him on fire. You know? Now, going to the core issue, you know, as far Doyin Okupe is concerned, now, you know, leaning towards a total support for the president, Bola Tinubu. Now, one can ask himself, given how what played out during the campaign, as far as his own involvement is concerned, is he just waking up? Is it that he was dreaming of this while, saying that from the onset, you know, that Bola Tinubu, you know, or it's now a question of morality, where you know that A is black, you call it white. You know that B is white, you call it black. For whatever reason, I don't understand. Now you are coming out with who is the #1 person among all the candidates and all the rest of them. And
are they not part of the political system? Okay. In any politics?
Well, you know, the case of River State is a peculiar one. And at the same time, when you look at the impact on the life of the ordinary citizen in River State, it's also unfortunate. Now, people shouting same movement, same vanguard today, turning up tomorrow. Of course, every sane person who knows how politics play in Nigeria should expect that. Fim himself should not be disappointed when the same people that are blowing trumpet for him, his full soldiers, when they will turn against him, he should not. And I will advise him, you know, to tread carefully, you know, when it comes to the possibility of having moles in his camp who are shouting his name today, you know. And then we also have a situation where, you know, people will play drum for him, and then he dances his way to his grave, his political grave. So the governor of the state, as River State, you know, he need to watch it. Otherwise, the same story that we are hearing from Doyin Okupe, we are going to hear similar story from those who are playing the drum for him to dance, as it is currently in River State.
So is it that in politics is not just for the Christians, it's also for men of all faiths, even for those of no faith. So is being subservient, is being a mole, not part of a political process. Are they wrong in doing what they are doing? It is to the achievement of their goals. What do you think?
As it is generally postulated or generally affirmed, you know, there's no, politics is about interest, and on that ground, there's no permanent friend or permanent enemy. Now, if that is okay, as far as society is concerned, then you cannot say they are wrong. You cannot say that. Because, for instance, if there's a particular thing that draws attention of, you know, a political player to another political player, or to a follower to a leader, as it were in politics, and then that particular interest that took you there, you know, that makes you to say, okay, I'm pitching my tent, I'm pledging my loyalty to this particular leader. That thing is no longer there. What do you think will happen? Of course, there will be a reversal of loyalty. Then, in terms of one being a mole, of course, it's also a political reality. You know, that I come to pledge loyalty to you. Meanwhile, I'm a spy. I'm a mole in your camp. Then, of course, post-relationship, that is after it is done, whatever thing that has been the secret binding us together, or giving you the bone and muscles to move forward in your own camp, I can always divulge it to the next person, you know. And that is what is happening right now. Now I can see how Doye Okupe has attempted, or has succeeded even, to reduce the political value of Peter Obi, the face of the obedient movement. You know, that the president of this country, Peter Obi, contested against, that a lot of ordinary citizens queued behind him and said, you are the one we want. Doye Okupe is telling us today that the president today is better than Peter Obi. It's a big blow. It's a big political blow to the fortune of Peter Obi, to the political fortune of Peter Obi, as far as I'm concerned. So, Doye Okupe, if he's there listening to me, can be referred to as a mole.